Hey guys, it's DT. Welcome back to another quick little unboxing video. Here is a piece that just arrived today. This is the Premier Collection Iceman resin statue from Diamond Select Toys. This is my first piece from Diamond Select. I've heard some mixed things about them, but this Iceman looked cool, so I thought I'd pick it up. This is a 1/6 scale statue, so 1/6 the size of a real Iceman. It's a bit smaller than the 1/4 and the even larger 1/3 statues that I currently have, but I'm getting a bunch of 1/6 scale X-Men to go with a very large 1/6 scale Sentinel that should be here sometime this year. I'm also getting another Iceman, the 1/4 scale Iceman from XM Studios, so that video will be up on EvanTube HD, but I thought I'd open up this smaller one on this channel today. Cool thing about 1/6 scale statues is that they're quite a bit cheaper than their 1/4 scale counterparts. You can also fit more on your shelf as well. So I believe this one was under $200. They actually had this on Amazon Prime, free shipping, so not a bad deal. So this might be something you're interested in if you have a budget. So this was limited to 3,000 pieces. So they made quite a few of these. Here's a look at the side of the box. Oh, I guess this was the front. There's some information here about Iceman, also known as Bobby Drake. If you guys want to pause it and read that, there you go. It says this statue is about 12 inches high, and let's get it open. Right off the bat, we have a little certificate of authenticity. So this is number 590 of 3,000. I don't know if they actually print that on the statue base like they usually do, but they give you this nice card. And let's slide it out. Okay, so it's packed in some nice foam. I've actually heard some horror stories about this piece having broken parts. So let's keep our fingers crossed that that's not the case with this one. Okay, you guys ready to see this? Here we go. And there he is. The important thing is he in one piece? I see his hand right here. He's got all 5 fingers, which is a good thing. We have some ice shards here as well. It doesn't look like anything's broken, but let's get this guy out carefully. So right off the bat, this thing is looking pretty cool. So here he is, look at that. He does look like he's made out of ice. Maybe a little bluer than normal ice would be. And he actually looks like he would be cold to the touch. Both his feet have little keys, no magnets. And these keys actually look like ice skates. Okay, so there's Iceman. And it looks like he just comes in 2 different parts, Iceman and the base. Shouldn't be too difficult to assemble. And here's a look at the base. So we have this crystallized ice right up here in front, and it goes down this little path that he created underneath, sort of like icicles and more like a melted look, and it goes down to the base, which is also quite transparent. You can see my hand through it, but it does have that same blue tone. Here it is in my hand, so it's not a huge footprint. So I'm hoping this fits on the table that I have for the Sentinel. They do include the edition size on the bottom there. Obviously, there's no huge sticker on the base because you'd see it from the other side. They do conveniently put it right here in the center. If you look really closely from the top, you can see that writing at certain angles, but it's not that noticeable. I'm more concerned with these black pads that they use. As you can clearly see them through the top of the base. Probably would have been better if they used a clear pad. So I'm gonna have to go in and maybe try and replace those myself. Okay, so I've got my Lazy Susan right here. We'll put the base on. And looks like a very easy assembly. We just have 2 little keys for his feet. One goes in here, one goes up here. Make sure it's in there. We don't want any Icemen falling out. It doesn't look like the fit on the keys is all that great. There is quite a bit of wiggling and movement. It's kind of like when you push in one, the other one kind of pops up. And I don't want to force it and break his ankles. So I'm just going to leave it like that. His front foot is in pretty good. I think this portion right here is supposed to be coming out of his hands. It doesn't really line up all that great. His thumb right now is getting really close to this ice. I guess it looks good from some angles, others not so much. I'm actually gonna use the hairdryer on this guy and see if I can move that icicle. It may work, it may not. I stuck the hairdryer on it for about a minute, and you can already see this thing is actually quite bendable now. It almost looks like candy. Let's see if we can move it into place. So his thumb is on the other side of it now. It looks much better. When this thing cools down, hopefully it just stays like that. And it looks like that might have solved the problem there. Okay, so here's a look at the Diamond Select Iceman. So overall, this piece looks really cool. I really like the ice effect on Iceman. He really looks like a melted ice cube. And you can actually see the little details as well, like his X belt buckle and his little ice underwear. We can actually see some musculature in the back. We do see a little bit of funkiness where his arm inserts into his body. But when you're dealing with a translucent piece like this, that's going to be one of those inevitable things that you really can't avoid. All the limbs are molded as separate pieces. Once you go to connect them, you're bound to see them, since this guy is pretty much see-through. Overall, it looks pretty good and just looks like something's in that ice. Looking really closely at his head, we can see little cracks in there, almost like cracks you would find in ice. If you're looking for a very clear, smooth, flawless looking head, this might not be the one for you because you can see all those little cracks in there. On the other side, mine does have a little scratch that kind of goes along the side of his head. For the price point you're looking at, you really can't expect total perfection. His hands look pretty cool. I'm really glad I didn't get any broken fingers. As you move down his arm towards his hands, you can see that the color changes from a blue to a more whitish tone. His right hand looks actually really good with his fingers outstretched. Just the middle finger on that left hand looks a little bit funky. As you progress down his leg towards his feet, it goes to that same whitish color. I don't see any visible seams in his hips where his legs meet his body, which is nice. Really, the only seam that's noticeable are where his arms insert. Like I said before, the base is really cool. Kind of looks like an iced over lake on the very bottom, and then we have his ice slide. It starts off a little bit translucent. We have some rougher areas around the sides. It is rougher on the bottom as well. And then we move up, and there's a seam here where this more whitish translucent ice starts to form, and at the end we have this big protrusion of icicles. But this is a really cool 1/6 scale piece. I wasn't really sure what to expect with these smaller scale statues, but they look great. They do have a lot of detail, and like I mentioned before, it might be a great choice if you're on a budget or you don't have the space to display larger statues. Not a bad piece for under $200 when you consider some of the 1/10 scale Iron Studios pieces are close to that same price point. That was a look at the 1/6 scale Iceman from Diamond Select Toys. Stay tuned, I've got a bunch of other 1/6 scale X-Men on their way to go along with this giant Sentinel. I'm hoping I have enough room on the table for all these extra pieces. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the description down below, and stay tuned for my full review of the quarter scale Iceman from XM Studios on EvanTube HD. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.